Today it's going to be such a fun garden tour. Not only are you going to see all kinds of things you haven't even seen before, but you're going to see what we're doing, what's coming, what's going, and tips and ideas that I'm sure you can use. Well, just kick back and I think you'll have fun because we're having fun working in the garden. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, July 1st. Can you believe it? And things are happening around here. Our weather is now, well, stable. We haven't hit triple digits yet. Close, but not yet. So let's start with the chair garden, and I think we'll have a surprise, maybe, because we still have the emus around here, running around somewhere in the bird garden. Here is my wonderful, precious chair garden, my favorite garden of them all. Why? You can water this in less than 2 minutes. You can tend to it in less than 2 minutes. Everything is so quick with it, it's off the ground and nothing seems to bother it. Though I do have to keep it covered from squirrels and sometimes birds, depending on what I'm growing. So let's see what I've been doing, because even though I've just done a lot of this, I was surprised at what made it, and well, maybe what didn't. So here is what's going on. I've got a zucchini that I was going to pull out, covered it up. It had a long trunk on it, and it looks like it's making a comeback. Now, truthfully, what I should do is plant a whole new plant. But since I don't have that many seeds that have come up yet, I'm going to leave that and see what happens. There's a little tomato back there, and this is just some brassicas, which are going to be great because I make a lot of green drinks. And, ooh, I got to make one for today. This I love. Oh my goodness, I put this up yesterday. So versatile. Irrigation tubing. Literally costs maybe 10 cents a foot, depending on how big of a roll you buy. Could be cheaper too. Put this up, stabilized it better than I had last year. Because last year I was going to show you how I did it with yarn. But then I looked at it the other day and I thought, why? Because if you put a tomato stake through it, it holds so sturdy. So now I can have my tomatoes growing on it or anything I want. So what I did is I went around collecting seedlings that were growing around the yard, and I stuck one there and here and here and there and there. And I thought, well, they're not going to grow. I haven't lost one yet. That wasn't the plan. Some of them didn't even have any roots on them. I literally yanked them out and threw them in here, and they're still growing. This one came off the deck. This was growing in a pot, and it got so big I knew it wasn't going to survive. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to bring it here and plant it, and whatever makes it, makes it. This could end up being fabulous. Here I haven't done too much in here. A couple tomato plants again that I found around here, and then I've got garlic chives and walking onions. Same thing here. I spotted in some tomatoes, though I may change it up. This is just some seeds from the birds. It's spray millet, and I figured I'd leave it. Actually transplanted it there. More walking onions, and this is a two system. I can lift this up and put leaves and stuff in it. It will feed the plants. So it's a real simple two system plant food or composter. Lift it, put in some leaves that you pick around in your garden. Just drop the pot back on it. It will decompose in there with microbes and earthworms and everything, and it will feed the plants really well. This is another zucchini. Being that our weather is just starting to warm at night, I've left the basket on, but I think it's going to do okay. We've had cool nights. You guys are all out there with hot nights, and we've got cold nights that were in the, well, 40s, upper 40s for a long time, then went into the 50s. We're just starting to hold at 60. Once it holds, we'll do fantastic. These two I haven't done yet, though I'm going to work around the red vein sorrel. Now, I purposely, let me step back. I purposely did this in that turquoise tool. If I would have done it in green, so you wouldn't even see it. This is green. If I would have done it in a black color, you wouldn't have seen it. But I wanted you to see it because they had, long story short, I started buying from a different company because the other company was just, they raised their price too much. Though it was a good, good tool and a good price still, it went to like $15 to $20 a bolt, but that's 40 yards, 54 inches wide. That's magnificent. You couldn't get that in a fabric store. Then I found another company that was here. I think they're in, no, I think they're in Texas. Oh, don't quote me. And they had the turquoise for under $10, the same size, 54 inches and wide and 40 yards long. And I bought it. It was fantastic. So I bought quite a few. And I put it up, and I've got the link in the description, not the little block things that say marketplace or something, but you'd have to go in my description and you'll find it. They raised the price back up to what the other ones are. They're green and they're black and all the others. The price was like $12. It's still cheap. So everybody started coming back to me. Hey, I saw it, but they raised the price. So I contacted them. They were so gracious. I said, I don't know why you've been keeping the turquoise color down to under 10, but if you can put it back, I think there's a lot of people that will buy it because they don't care about color. I mean, it looks okay, but it does stand out where the green doesn't. And you know what? They contacted me and said, yes, we will put it back for you. I thought that was wonderful. And they put it back down to under $10. So that is the color that I'm using so you can see it. And let me tell you something. If I didn't have tulle in my garden, as maybe as bad as it looks or doesn't look as pretty as you would think, but I think it looks fine, I would not be growing food. Not here. We got squirrels and rats and all kinds of rodents and different things. Pack rats. So that's the native type rat. Doesn't even look like a regular rat. And we've got all kinds of stuff and nothing touches it. The deer won't even touch it. When the deer go through, they nibble on it and they don't like the feel of it. So they just skip it and they'll go somewhere else that doesn't have tulle. So that's why I've used the turquoise because I have gotten black and green from them. Again, you wouldn't see the green, but I wanted you to see what it was and why I use it. So it's fantastic, and that's what's going on there. Let me walk over here. This is a work in progress. I've been working like mad around here. Every single turmeric one, I'm not sure why this is white, but it is. But it was tucked in the corner, and I'm thinking maybe it didn't get enough light because it is under a tree, the big pepper tree. Anyways, every single one is growing. This is actually doing the best, better than, boy, better than the others. Maybe I should set another table up here and move some of it. You'll see in a few minutes what the other ones look like, but look at this. Now, I did not pull this one out, so it's going to be packed. Look, more is coming up. I didn't pull anything out. I left it. See how it's all coming through? Isn't that beautiful? And we'll see how it goes. Being that I didn't pull it out, store it somewhere, or do anything with it, it may flower. If it goes into its second year, a lot of times turmeric will flower. But this is all turmeric, just on an old wooden table. And maybe I will set up another table here. I still have turmeric I haven't planted because I have too much. Can you imagine? I gave some away the other day. Somebody came over and she said, oh, I have never planted turmeric. I said, well, do you want to? She said, love to. Here. And she went home with turmeric. So anyways, that's the chair garden. If you've got a small place and you want to do a garden, I'm telling you, get these totes from Walmart. They're six something, oh, just over $6. And if you go into the store and they don't have lids, a lot of times they half the price. Look around. They are so cheap. They'll last you for quite a few years. This is the best method of gardening, and maybe I'll do that separate again one day soon because you can't get anything better than this. For Southern California or anywhere in the United States, I've had people from all over the world tell me they've changed their growing method into this. Poor people that have no money and this is what they depend on, and they've come back to me and said I've changed their life with this. This is the greatest way of doing it. Off the ground, no roots, no gophers, no nothing can get in here. And you tool it, and you've now got the perfect garden. I am tooling each one individually. These are the lids I make where I just cut the center out, got videos on that, and then make the straps and just staple it on with a plain old paper stapler. And then on the bottom, sometimes I let it run on the ground because I don't want to deal with mosquitoes. I was collecting the water. Now I put these pots here and I can do geraniums, and you probably saw it at the end of last year. The plants were huge. And I've got celery, and this is more turmeric. So the water that runs out, because the way I compost in place, is rich food for the plants. Everything on the bottom grows. So I'm just getting this set up. Should have this done. Well, I could have had it done, but I want to do either watermelon back there or more zucchini. And I've got some zucchini seeds just popping through. So we'll see how that goes. This is doing great. This is doing better than I thought. I've got a theory, and I'll come back soon with this theory. I'm still trying to figure out if my theory is right or not. So there's no use talking about it. So we'll come back. But this is so good. I can't believe it. All these plants are doing fantastic. They've taken off. These are crimson watermelon. Look at this.
Guess where I
Bought
am?
this at CPG.
I'm at CPG.
Let's see if you can see it in the sun. They're a bigger watermelon than the sugar baby. I had some sugar babies. I didn't plant them, and I lost my seedlings. So I'm trying again, or I may buy some. At this time of the year, I'd almost suggest that no matter where you are, to get started plants from the nursery, you may not have time to get the seeds growing. I'm still doing both because here where we live, we're warm enough where we can grow well into the fall. It's in the winter we lose. But these are doing great. I've got the shark fin melon growing in the back. I've got each bucket that has holes on the bottom, so the roots will set down into the truck bed. And each one has got their own container. It's kind of like its own mini raised bed, but they can send their roots down. And I'm slowly taking some of the seeds from the Swiss chard in the back and using that for composting. It's been fantastic. This has been amazing. This is like the nothing garden in the whole place here. The whole place here. I come out here every day and harvest because they're so overpacked with who knows how many hundreds of seeds that started to grow. They're stunted, and I just come through and either grab a handful or cut it, whatever way I want to do it. And this has got to be hundreds of dollars worth of food. Gary had this whole thing built. Go look at the video, how it all collapsed. And before I took it out to use, because he said, take it out, use it. The seeds got in there. I've got all this Swiss chard growing, and hopefully I'll last another month, few more weeks, but this has been unreal and it tastes fabulous. Okay, let's just walk down because I haven't done too much more here, just maintaining it. My forget-me-nots are all going to seed, and I should collect some. These are all forget-me-nots, even that little blue in there. Are they beautiful? One plant came up, and now it has spread the joy everywhere, including my bird garden I'm putting it in. Now, I haven't gotten to these yet, but we have trimmed back the geraniums because we've got to watch for snakes. I want to make sure I know what's at my feet. And in the area we live, we do have to be aware of rattlesnakes. I don't worry about gophers. Got a gopher in my garden, a gopher snake, and periodically he comes out. And the other day, a couple weeks ago, I guess, I stepped on him and he got mad. He reared up and looked at me, and boy, was he mad. I thought, well, you didn't have to sit there. I didn't see you. So we're friends. We're good friends. And I love them because they keep everything out. I'm trying to think. There's nothing down the driveway changed. So it would be exactly the same. It's all growing wild. Let's look at this real quick. I will definitely make sure you see how Gary puts up the whole thing. He was worried about my camera. Look at my camera. This is a Wise Cam. Look, look, look. It's got a magnet. It sticks to my kennel. It's fantastic. He's working on this. We'll get into details in a separate video. He was going to go to pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's some more pavers, but he had enough around here. This is what we talked about, and we'll get more into this. Is going to be fantastic. I've got such plans on this. I am so excited over this. Look at this. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with this. And then he's just kind of looking at this still. He just put that up, so you will see that soon. And then he's going to get the wire up. And I've got all the ideas of how I'm going to do it. All those chairs back there that look like, you know what? They're all going to be used. I have a job, I have to paint them. But to sit out here on a beautiful day and start painting, look at the backdrop. I don't know how long you guys have been with me, but if you go back a few years, those are the pomegranate trees I planted back there. I used to sell them on eBay. Had 10 for $10 or something, and I'd ship them out. And then I had all these left, and I spotted a few in there. I still have one in a pot, and look at the hedge it grows. I really need to harvest more and freeze them. I saw a bag the other day at the grocery store, a small bag for $7 of just the inside, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not using enough. And then there's the back of the chair garden, which I still have to do stuff in. This would be different because I do want to show you something in the front. So we'll look at this, and then we'll kind of say goodbye maybe when we get to this. My pizza garden's done. You know what? Maybe I will do that when we come back. But this is the back of the chair garden and the front of the chair garden now. We went from the back to the front, and it's beautiful under here. And look at this. I have ideas. Standing, you don't see the big yellow house. Oh, I hope they're nice. Saw them once, but they wouldn't say hello, so I don't know. But I could put a curtain along the top here if I wanted to. Not a curtain, maybe some mini flex all the way across here, and it would make it like a secluded little place. This is where I propagate a lot of plants. Oh my gosh, I love propagating. Look at my hummingbird's lunch. And it's out of the sun. When you propagate, we'll have to get into that. The way I propagate, if I take care of it, I it's close to 100% then on getting them to grow. If I don't take care of them, that's a different story because sometimes I do forget. But everything there is doing good. We'll come back. Oh, look at the monarch. I know people come by. There's no monarchs out here. And I go, well, maybe they're all here. I've got milkweed everywhere and I've got monarchs everywhere. Is that not gorgeous? Right now, this monarch is doing nothing but feeding. But this is just something I absolutely love. And a lot of this in here is celery as well as the milkweed coming up. So I've been giving that away when people need it too. I'm trying to individually pot a lot, and I've moved a lot of it into the bird garden. Let's just walk down the driveway so we can make a circle, and then hopefully we'll get this all done. I hear Gary's making breakfast. He has a breakfast ritual that he likes. So like I said, I'm had a buck. Oh, there's the bucket Gary put for me. So this must be the start. I'm supposed to know where he needs, where the truck, when they come in with the wood chips, need to turn because of the edge of the house. So he said if I move everything from here to the other stand up, then when they make the turn with the big semi truck, they can get in to drop him off more wood chips when he needs. So that's why that purple bucket's there. So these might get moved. I don't talk about this, but let me tell you something. Those black totes that you can get, they can be Rubbermaid, they can be Sterlite. I've never had one break. They're heavy duty, and we'll get more into that, and I'll tell you which type to get. I mean, here's one that broke a couple years ago, and it's still going. It broke and split, and I put tape around it. Something. I think I'm going to retire it. But look at this, full of walking onions and trees. I wonder what kind of trees. Carrot wood, and then full of garlic chives growing. So it works out fantastic. These I'm probably going to leave. You know what these are. These upside down planters. I got them for $2.50 at Walmart. It was a fad for a while. They were selling them for $50 to $60. And they're so small, but fixed up correctly, I get a lot of lettuce out of them, and obviously mint and oregano and all kinds of stuff. Here's my cabbage. I'm keeping it well covered. You're not supposed to grow cabbage in the summer. I know. I think I brought this one in here. I don't know if there's a worm. I'll have to keep an eye out on it, but I covered it maybe too late. These I covered right away, and they're doing really good. Hopefully no caterpillar gets in through the tool, but I haven't had that. Some of them, just when I put it in here, I had the leaves were damaged because there was caterpillars on them. So the leaves grew and the holes get bigger. That's all, because they were like a pinhole. But look how beautiful. See all the new leaves in there? All the center leaves are beautiful. So hopefully it doesn't get too hot. If we go into triple digits, that's when I could lose the cabbage, as long as I don't water it when the sun is out. If you water cabbage and a lot of plants, I came through here with a hose and just sprayed it down and it's 100 degrees. I did that accidentally on the deck, and all the leaves within 2, 3 days turned brown. Why? Because it killed the leaf. It cooked it, is what it does. And it's like putting it in a pot of boiling water. You just kind of break the cells, and how you steam it, that's what happens. And then you don't know it. You wouldn't know it that day at all. You would say, yeah, the plant made it fine. I hosed it down. Next day, a little droopy. It looks fine. A few days later, the leaves are brown and they're disappearing. So certain vegetable plants do not do well with overhead watering in triple digits, even close to triple digits. Water from the base and they'll be fine. Plants pull the water out of their leaves. That's why when it gets really hot, 90 degrees, you see all the leaves droop and you think, oh no, my plant's dying. No, no, no. It's taken the moisture out of the leaves, puts it back into the roots, and then it holds it. And then as the sun goes down, it feeds the leaves again and releases the water back to the plant. It's a natural way of protecting itself. So it doesn't lose a lot of water It retains the water underneath and it works really good. I've been doing this for so many years. I know all about it. So if anybody tells you otherwise, just say, okay, and let them do the gardening the way they want. Okay, let's go into the front yard. So I was going to go ahead and start taking off all the seed heads. The thing is, this is for bird food, and they are eating it. They're splitting them open and eating the seeds out of here, the goldfinches, the house finches. So since I don't have to get in here right now, I'm leaving them, but I'm thinking within the next couple weeks. See what they do? They sit on top and they split open the seeds and the pods, and then they eat all the seeds out, which is really good for them. So it's, I mean, why take it down if I don't need to? That's the way I look at it. And then I will compost this. This is like pure plant food. Think of all the nutrients and everything that the plant put into its seeds. That's why there's no leaves, because the plant puts all its nutrients into the seeds because they need it to grow. And then you've got it. You could rot this. You could put this in water and rot it and use it as plant food. So it is fantastic to do that. Look at the towhee. You see them in there? They look for seedlings, not only insects, but they really like seedlings. They go inside the tote and they'll come out. You'll see a little piece of green, and they ate up my lettuce. Oh, they're so big on that. It was my fault. I didn't cover it, so they ate my lettuce. And then here's my lime, my finger lime. Trying to make it come. You have to be careful. This thing is real spiky. Gary brought a pot, and we were debating if we were going to put it in a bigger pot. I'm thinking I'm just going to pull a lot of soil out and refreshen it and do it that way right now. So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I'll be getting to this soon. And then I'll have a beautiful fall garden later on, and then I'll have more food growing. Here, I've got radishes growing that I planted. My lettuce went to seed. I leave a lot of this for the goldfinches, but the rest of it I can take off and grow. I don't think anything fell and grew yet. No, I've got chamomile. Should collect some of those seeds. Celery, I don't want the celery, though I do like green. This is not green. This is actually a hybrid from the red celery. Not big on that. This I don't need. I'll leave it right now for the birds. But I do need a beet because I'm going to make a green drink today. So there it is. I'll use that. It's a small one, but I use some of the greens. I'll come back and get it soon. They're small. I don't need to wait till they get big. Actually, there was a big one back there. But I'll go with this one since I pulled it out. And I use the beet itself. Like I said, for a green drink, I don't need a giant one. I use the good leaves, and then the yellowing leaves, I compost that. Okay, so let's leave that. And then a lot of that, again, it's just celery and, well, sow thistle and stuff. Okay, look at this. Piece of geranium fell a while ago, and it's growing. Look at that. This is the difference. We have something new. We have something brand new. Look at this. Remember when I planted this? I used to have Tulle here, and I used to grow walking onions and knock myself out on keeping the Tulle up. Well, the Tulle was easy, but trying to just keep coming out here to harvest walking onions. Well, what do I need to harvest walking onions from here? Just plant this. It looks pretty. The birds love hiding in it, and I don't have to think about it because there's plenty of places to grow walking onions. Let's see. I've got, see, this is all my extra turmeric and ginger in here. I keep it covered, but I'm going to get it almost all planted. I had a piece growing in there, pulled that out and gave it to somebody that was here. And this is the turmeric that's starting here. See the difference? It's a lot smaller. That's my ginger. And this is not getting the warmth. Oh, we can feel it. The canyon breeze. That is it. If I put something on here, I'll block the cool evening canyon breeze. Oh my gosh. It took me till this second to think of that. See how it's blowing? That's why it's not doing good. Plus something got up there, probably the towhee, and chewed on that one. This is just some seeds from papaya. I want to go dump it somewhere. Okay. I see. I can do that. Put a couple pretty flags here if I want, or move it. But if I put some nice flags here, it could be shade cloth, but anything. I don't know if Tulle would do it. It might. Just enough, because as I'm standing here, my back is getting a cool breeze, and that's why it's taking longer. But in defense for this, if I leave it the way it is, and our weather is going to warm, because our hottest months are August and September, this grows beautiful by then. And look, my stevia came back on its own. So I've got stevia there. I don't think this one is. I'm not sure what that is. We'll leave that. But this is stevia. It came back on its own. I've had it for so many years. So anyways, that's what's going on here. I have ginger there and turmeric here. And Gary put this up so he can walk the emus. So now they can walk all the way over to under the deck where I've got the other garden there. And I don't have to worry about anything. And then we can also make sure that Zoe doesn't go anywhere. And this is all brand new. And he put this up so quick. He made a cement footing. He put the gate up. There's a hose there. He turned that around. He had to cut that and turn that around there. He put a gate up here. We're going to fix this area. Yes, I know. Fix this area here. You can sit on it and just look at the canyon. And that's where he walks the emus. So about an hour earlier, before I started this garden tour, I walked into the bird garden, and sure enough, Gary had already taken the emus outside. There they are, and they're looking over my garden. And that's what I don't want them to do. I am propagating plants, and I'm also doing seeds and everything around here, and they'll eat all this because they've been eating all my flowers. I mean, after all, they love flowers. There they are, and they're getting taller, and the problem is they can reach a lot more than they could have a couple weeks ago, now that they're, what, 6 weeks old? But anyways, this is the bird garden early in the morning before the sun is up. It's nice and peaceful and quiet, and it's just beautiful. We do take them in here because they love running. In the morning, when they get out of their pen that they sleep in, they run and run and run. But it's getting to the point, realistically, I really don't want them in here, not unsupervised. I put a couple buckets there to block them from eating my new plant. So that's still in a pot. Well, it's not in the pot, it's in the ground. I've got the tag on it. But when they find the flowers on it, I think it's a honeysuckle, they will take the flowers off, and maybe some leaves too. That's soil I've been removing out of other totes and containers and flower pots. You never throw that away. Some people throw it away. I don't know why. Does Mother Nature throw soil away? Refreshing it, add in leaves. Look at my sunflower. It's growing with milkweed and onions in a dish pan. Look at them. See the dish pan? And I got milkweed everywhere. That's why we have tons of monarchs. But this is something they do. They run. They just love the bird garden. Look, nobody's chasing them. They act like somebody's chasing them. But it's really good for them to do that. So we come out in the morning, we have coffee, and we let them do their running ritual, and they jump up and down. Look how they go around the post. They're so funny to watch. And they jump up and down, and I don't know what's in their little heads, but this is what they do, and it's just a blast to sit here and watch. But the garden's coming along really good. I still have tomatoes on that plant, though I think one of the emus made a hole in there and pulled out a green tomato. So I'm going to have to check on that. But it's such a beautiful day, and that's why it's so nice to start the day there. Look at my torch plants back there, the flowers. They are gorgeous. Look at this. They are busy little birds, or big birds. Before, when they were tiny, they didn't do a lot of damage, but they're getting bigger and taller every day, and they're finding out they can reach the stuff they couldn't reach before. I mean, this is pure entertainment for, I don't know, them or me. Look at this. Look at the jumping. Look. Oh my goodness. Just think when they're 6 feet tall. I don't know. This goes on every morning. This is like a big thing for them. Here I've got my walking onions, and I'm propagating a lot of different geraniums. Look at that one bloomed. And it's just newly propagated, I was going to say new, a few weeks ago. And I still have one more pot I can stick something in. That looks like a tomato. And there's just some walking onions that fell. I got to do something with. Look, now they're going to pull my pants. Let me tell you something. When they grab a hold of my pants and they get some of my leg, that hurts too. They can pinch. But all in all, I'm really happy with everything in there. I've got flowers growing. I've got tomatoes growing. I've got all kinds of stuff growing. There's food everywhere. Collard, different brassicas. I just want to make sure that they don't get my new honeysuckle. And so far, they haven't figured out to go around the other way because they've really taken all the bottom leaves off of the tree collard. That bird cage is going to be moved. That's going to go to the other side. And this is just some geraniums I put here. That bucket came from my rainbow garden, the green bucket. And I'm going to plant the geraniums under the papayas. Papayas are doing really good. They're flourishing. The leaves are coming in beautiful. So hopefully they make it.
And everything here is doing really good. The mint is growing. I've got my purple kale growing. It's a type of, I think it's Russian purple. And then every morning Gary's got to fix the fountain. He knows how to knock on it and twist it around. I don't know. We bought the pump. We've got the brand new pump, but he said he hasn't had time to swap it. I mean, I could swap it too, but neither one of us seem to have the time. But since he knows he can kind of tap on it a certain way, it will go. It's different than the solar fountains or the small pumps we've been working with. It might be warped already. It's an old pump. But one day when it doesn't go on, I know that he will swap it out. Look at the salvias. The hummingbirds and all the pollinators love it. Is that not beautiful? And to think last year that was a tiny plant in a pot. The funny thing is it's still in the pot. There it goes. He just taps on it and then he flushes some water through it and it works. I don't know. And there they are. Now their new thing is after they do their running and they're done, they get to walk over to their new yard, which is under the deck. Now, right now, they're kind of sidetracked because I'm here. So when he goes, they don't like being really alone, so they follow him. But now that I'm still here, they're thinking, well, she's here, we'll stay with her. So I'll have to see if I can help him do it. He does it every morning without me. I'll walk through, and this way they'll follow me maybe too. But he says in the morning he has no problems. If I'm not around, they walk right with him. He calls them, and they just follow him. Oh, are they funny? And to think they're growing so fast. They peck at everything. They don't eat everything. Even a lot of the flowers in my garden, they just pull them off and they go, pooey, I don't like it. Isn't that cute? They're still getting used to that step. It's not that they can't do it. You've seen them jump and everything. They're not sure if they're supposed to go down or, hey, what's there? But they're getting used to it. And this is it. Then now we've got this wonderful place that I don't have to worry if Zoe gets through the gate. And now she's fenced in. And this is perfect. I can walk her. I don't have to carry her. So when I have things in my arms and I'm carrying stuff, she can just come with me. Look at them. Oh, we went around the step. How funny. They are so cute. And now into the other yard they go. And where are they going? They're going to go in with the guineas right now. Oh, the guineas have picked out every plant that was in there. Not that there was anything much in there, but boy, not a weed grows with them there. Look at them. They're going, and the guineas get to look in the mirror and see how beautiful they look every morning. And let me tell you something. They spend a lot of time looking in the mirror. So funny. But see, Gary opens the other gate, and they haven't taken off and run throughout the yard. They just follow him, and into the other yard they go. Now they are underneath the deck where I feed the hummingbirds. And now they can run around under the orange trees. And it's perfect for them. It's nice and cool and beautiful. And look at all the grass they've got they can pull out. One more surprise. Look at this. Gary built this years ago so the Yorkies could go out and have a yard with roll bars. We wouldn't have to think about coyotes that can come out here. Well, he leaves it open now. And look at, surprise, surprise, the healers have adopted this area. So he put some boxes there with blankets and they sleep there. This chicken brought her chicks there, and they go back and forth through the chain link. She actually brought them to the front. It's never closed. And they wanted to sleep in there last night. She's been sleeping there with all 9 baby chicks that she hatched. And Gary's healers are doing their job and taking care of them. Are they not cute? They're what, 3 or 4 days old now? But she brought him here. She must have found out that this was safer. The first night she slept in the nest with them. And then now she brought him to the, it's not a kennel because it's never closed. She brought him to this area and this is where she wants to sleep with them. And she's sleeping with the healers. This is not a joke. One sleeps on top of this box that Gary's got there. And then the other 2 sleep on the box in the back with blankets. And that's where she decided was a nice, safe place to be. She can go out through the front at any time and take them all with her. There's nothing cuter than a baby, fluffy chick. It's like, oh, I'm on the other side. Don't worry. They walk through the chain link right now. They got a lot of food. They've been eating the seeds off the grass and everything. And of course, he feeds them as well. But this is what she wants. And she's not tame, Gary told me. So she's just one of the chickens that have been roaming around, not one of his pets. And there he is with those dogs that know we have to protect them. Yep, we got to protect our baby chicks. And that's where they all sleep with the door open, mind you. The gate's open. and they protect the baby chicks. Oh, I hope they don't decide one day they want to eat them. I guess not, because we've had chickens all over the yard with them. So that's the fun surprise we had this week. Oh my goodness, more chickens. We'll see if they all survive, but Gary was surprised up to now that all 9 have made it, and she keeps track of them and she marches them around the yard. So that has been the morning, and that's what goes on every morning with walking the emus over, and eventually they're going to sleep in that yard for now because they don't, it's hard to bring them in and out. And with them, she'll just have to figure it out and figure out where she wants to bring her chicks.
Yes, we know. Anyways, we're going to go do the bird garden. And we've made almost a full circle, though we will go back. And we will do the rainbow garden. And now we are in the bird garden. Where are we, Zoe? Are we in the bird garden? No, she is so funny. This is where the Toei gone in. I didn't cover it, and he ate up all the lettuce. I grabbed 2 of them out of there, though they will make a comeback. If I cover them, they'll grow. I don't know if I'm going to bother. I've got so many lettuce seeds. So this is what's going on. I'm still working on this, but being that we've got a new project going on out the gate down there. Can you see the gate? When we go out there, I think this will be emptied really quick. That one will be emptied quick. And then I'll be able to get all this out and start working just totally on the birds. Let me walk you through. I put this here so when the emus are here, they can chew on that because they ate up my beautiful, look at this. It was all big and bushy, my hummingbird's lunch, and they ate the whole bottom out. So what I'm doing is bringing in stuff they can eat. Does it stop them from eating what I don't want them to eat? No, but they're spending more time in their own yard. So that's what went on this morning. And everything else is doing fantastic. I am so happy with everything. I'm still planting and it's just doing great. Everything is still green. Like I said, we haven't hit triple digits, but we have been in the 90s. We're in the 90s today. Tomorrow, we're going to be in the 90s. And everything is doing the way I want it. This will be cleared out. I'm in no hurry. Since we've started another project, I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use these totes to plant in. I'm going to move that cage to the other side. It's not the most attractive cage. It's a dog crate for shipping. But here's the thing. If I can give one of you an idea that you've got this sitting somewhere and you're not using it, but you want to feed birds and you've got cats, this is the safest place to have a setup for birds, because even if a cat came up to it and tried to get through, because that's pretty big for a cat. Oh, this is the bottom part though. See, it's turned on its side, so the door stays open. The point is, if a cat came up to here, the birds would be long gone because they can get through the whole thing, and no cat can get them, no hawk can get them, because the hawks come from the sky and do a swoop. They can't swoop. When they swoop in one door, they're going to smash their head on the other side, so it won't work. So that's it. And then the papayas look like they're doing good. I've got mint on the ground here. I've been moving this. This I'm going to take out. This came from under the rainbow garden. It's just another geranium. And I think I'm going to set up this black pot here. It's got holes on the bottom. Probably take a lot of scraps and stuff from the garden, because all the seed heads that I'm going to be pulling off later will feed the papaya, and it will be really good that way. Oh, one more thing. Look at this. She's looking in here. More turmeric growing here. Yes, you know what? This is why I love talking out loud. By talking to you and showing you the turmeric, this is not a joke. I didn't even realize that the wind was coming up the canyon and creating a cold spot. But again, I may not change it because the turmeric grows really good in the fall there. So we'll see how it goes. And then that's it. And then we can go out the door and we can go look at the rainbow garden. Hi, Rosemary. That is a huge plant, and I've got 2 more down there. There's the one that never got planted. See what happens when you leave them in a pot? This is a pomegranate. It is stunted, just stunted. And by leaving it in there, it's not going to get big. And I can still think about maybe another place I want to put it. I used to grow tons of them. It's so easy. Eat it, spit the seeds in a pot, and they'll grow. That's it. And that's the chair garden. You saw some of it already. I was going to plant more potatoes in there. I still might, because I can pick it up and move it. These are potatoes not ready to harvest. As long as it's real green like that, they are still growing. So you don't want to harvest them until it starts to turn brown. Once it turns brown or yellow, that means they're dying back. The leaves will get real yellow and it's done. and I will be pulling everything into the tubers, which is the potatoes, and that's when you harvest it. Here is more. Look at not this here. Look at this milkweed. It's coming up in this pot. I actually put some in there. This is just onion seeds, which I should collect. There's no onions in there. I mean, there's no potatoes in there. There is some onions, but those went to seed. And then I got more milkweed. We already saw the back. Never got to this yet. And I still want to freshen this up because even if I pull them out and freshen it up, it won't hurt them. They'll keep producing strawberries, but they might be done. It depends on what variety some of those are. If they have runners, wrong variety, they'll be done by August. If they're seascapes, they go all year round. Let's see, over here, I've got potato mint in there. This is an old lid. It's like 2 years old. I have to redo it. And then there is Malabar spinach, but all I care about in here is potato mint. So I'm going to get the Malabar spinach out because I have that. Look at tomatoes. Actually ate some yesterday. Look at that. And this came up on its own. Look. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, with milkweed. So we'll have monarchs in there too soon. This is full of peppers. There's peppers everywhere. Everywhere I look, I find peppers. Look at this. Just filter through. These are my seedlings I planted in the winter, and they're just starting to take off. That I have to redo. It's too damp and dark back there. See how it's shaded? But the peppers like it in the heat. They don't mind being out of the sun in the heat. I picked a zucchini last night. Probably will cook it today. This one has got tulle wrapped around the tote. It keeps critters out. That one did not, so it got eaten. I threw some tulle on top of it. And I see it's making a comeback. Oh, look, there's new flowers coming. I might wrap that with tulle. I haven't really gotten to here yet. I've been pulling the pots out and moving the plants that were growing in all these buckets down here, I should say. They're not pots, they're buckets. And then some of the geraniums fell on the ground, and that's how they grow. Actually, this one, yeah, that one's growing from there. Then I've got more onions here that went to seed purposely. Look at that. And then I've got pepinos. I've got my purple curly Russian kale, I think it's called, and then more pepinos, but I haven't done anything in here. I've kind of left what was there, which is great, and I've been working on moving the stuff out of the bottom because I want to make sure I see what's at my feet. I've got a mustard growing on the ground, and like you can see, there is milkweed everywhere. It came up on its own, milkweed, hence weed, and it grows really good here. And every time I go to take it out, I move them in a pot because I don't want to compost them. And then I've got this. Now you saw this from the other side. That is doing really good. That's Hummingbird's lunch. And I was going to move it, but now that I see the hummingbirds are using it, I'm not going to. And then my pizza garden's done. I've got thyme up here. Look at that. Growing really nice. I've got the rosemary I planted from a cutting, still in the original pot, but it's growing because I put it in a little pot and it's setting roots in the bucket. I've got oregano. I've got basil coming up. I've got parsley and sage. I've got everything. I'm all ready for pizza. I just have to make it. And then the peppers back there, again, it's very shaded, but they'll do good as we go into fall because the sun is going to change direction a little bit and it's shaded from the fig tree right now, which has got figs. I saw some figs up there before. We've trimmed it. I don't know if I'll eventually take it out, but right now it creates enough shade on the back of the house, so it keeps it real cool. So I hope you enjoyed this. We will get into this because I think the tunnel that's going to go across, look at this. When I look here, all you're going to see, hopefully, when it's growing, is green. And then my dog kennel is going to be fabulous. You can sit here and just enjoy looking at the plants in here. And maybe I'll string some flags along the top. And then these are just solar lights. I think they're really old. I don't know how they get water in them when they're sealed, but they manage to get water in them. I'm going to go through and see which ones are good. Maybe I'll do something with the ones that are not. But that's my rainbow garden. It hasn't been cleaned up. Nope, because we've been working in other places. But that's all right. It will be. You just, with gardening, you take one day at a time. Don't stress, because the whole idea of gardening is to relax, take a deep breath, and enjoy your garden. And like I said, that's one thing we don't have is a lack of food. We've got food everywhere. So I can just step back and think, well, maybe instead of working on this right now, we'll build a whole brand new tunnel. Oh, another garden for me to take care of? We haven't even gotten to the wall yet. Well, I'll just call it part of the rainbow garden. No, I won't. With that, have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think. What else do you want to see? And stay cool because I know a lot of you are in triple digits and we'll be there soon. But for now, we're just staying in the 80s, 90s, and I just water my plants as if we're in the triple digits and they're doing good. Water from the base and your plants will be happier. You can water from the top, overhead watering. I do that a lot in the evening. I do it early morning, but not when it's 100 degrees. Try to stay away from overhead watering at that point with vegetable plants, and you should be fine. With that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye bye. That was fun. I think I've got peppers here too. Oh, yeah, because I picked one the other day and used it for dinner. Isn't that beautiful? And oh, oh no, that's not tree color. That's the tree color from the plant. That is pepino growing. All I did was put it in a little pot, took a cutting, and now I have a new pepino plant I could go move. I don't want to move it until I'm ready. Okay.